Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Are you well? Can we give it up for Gary, actually, everyone? Lovely chapter, Gary. I love it. Thank you, folks. It's really a pleasure to be here. Gary, am I supposed to stay in the yellow spot, or can I wander?
You can do whatever you want.
I am going to wander. Folks, it's great to be here. I'm like the guinea pig of the night. I'm the first speaker, like a glorified support act, I suppose. I am a magician, which means it would be a sin if I didn't try a trick. Yes?
Yes.
But of course, for a trick, I do need to pick someone to help me, which is when everyone pretends not to exist. I'm going to walk with the mic as far as I can before we hear a squeal. What's your name, sir?
My name is Chris.
Chris. Everyone say, hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Say hello, everyone.
You're a master, Joel.
I know. Gary told me that before the show. Here, listen, Chris, are you good at math?
Yes.
You are good at math?
Yeah.
Could you do me a favour? We're going to give you a big round of applause. You're going to sit right at that top table. I'm going to get to you in a second. Give him a big round of applause, everyone. Chris! Challenging Gary. Anywhere you like, yeah. Challenging Gary for the best chat of the night. Right, folks. I'm going to talk to you in a few minutes about social media because it's about the only thing I can talk to you about. I can talk to you about magic, but has no practical implication for any of you. How many people here are on social media, either for you or for a business? Yeah, pretty much everyone, more and more so, more important. So what I'd like to talk to you about, we'll get back to you in a second, Chris, is how I went from 0 to just shy of 17 million followers. And not everyone needs that many. It's not important, but I think there's some lessons I've learned the hard way that I hope I can pass on to you. The interesting thing is it took me, I suppose, from the age of 11 through to 21 to get to 5,000. Then it took me from the age of 21, 24 to get to 17 million. So what changed? And that's what I want to talk to you right now. Does that sound like it would be useful to people here?
Yeah.
Cool. Before we do, I want to kind of raise the stakes. Who would like some free money? Why does everyone's hand not go up for that right away? I'm always scared. I wonder, your hand went up pretty quick. What's your name, madam?
Mary.
Hello, Mary. Mary, you are going to win. What have we got? £10. People usually go, ooh, at that point. Mary, can you pop this in a pocket or sit on and get back to it a little bit? If I get the trick wrong, that's all for you. Isn't that exciting, Mary? Mary, you look like you couldn't care less. That's a lot of money for some people. You get a fraction of the ticket price back. That would be good. We'll get back to that in a second, Mary. Okay, before I get into social media, I need 3 more people to help me just to kind of raise the stakes a bit. Perhaps yourself, madam. What's your name? Hi Vanessa. Vanessa, are you good at math?
No.
You're not? Vanessa, I'm going to give you an important job. I'm going to give you this little post-it note. If you grab, I'll give you a pen because it'll be easier to read in a minute. I'm going to give you this pen. Check it works just on your little ThinkPad, which I think is really cool, Gary, by the way, wherever you've gone. Does it work? Cool. I need you to write down a 6-digit number. Don't show anyone. Keep it a secret. And then I'll come back to you in a second, so just cover it with your hands. Got it?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, folks, so my little talk through is about social media. We got basically 4 points to cover in creating content online, which is basically how you grow. So the process of growing a social media account is actually really simple when you break it down. It's get eyeballs, transfer those eyeballs into followers, subscribers, whatever that is. It's really simple, but how do we do it? Well, about 3 years ago, I met a guy called Luca. He taught me this magic formula, pun not intended with the magic thing. And when I started to follow this magic formula, things started to happen for me. And I suddenly started getting some momentum, and like anything, snowball effect, it started to grow and grow and grow. So there's 4 steps to this magic formula. If you're going to write down anything, this is when to take your, you're not going to explain them all, but this is what you want to write down. I haven't got a PowerPoint or anything, because I'm not good at making those, but it's very easy. The first part is hook. H-O-O-K, that's the first thing, and it's probably the most important part. Hook, it all sounds very simple, but most people don't follow it. Hook, build up, reveal, call to action. CTA if you want to shorthand it. So hook, build up, reveal, call to action. Have you written down a number? Yeah, 6-digit number? Yeah, do it now. I only got 10 minutes. How long? 10, 15 minutes, Gary?
Yeah,
Half an hour, 45? Love it. Here we go, free show. Why not? Yeah, Chris, why not? We could do it together. Yeah. I'm actually here, Tristan, you want to hang on my jacket? I tried to go for it, but I had the fear. I wasn't confident enough to pull it off. Let's see. Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you. Listen, thank you for writing down that number. Would you do me a favour? Would you pass the pad to somebody else at a different table? And whoever you give it to is going to write a 6-digit number as well. So you're going to have to do a bit of free legwork and actually make your way across to another table. They usually go for someone they fancy, so this will be interesting to see. Go ahead, pass it to someone. Yeah,
You want me to take mine off though?
No, just keep it visible so that we can see it, but don't show me. Show it, it doesn't matter if the next person sees it. Let's see who they go for. It's not Love Island, just pick anyone you want. Let's see, oh, the pressure. I thought you might. Is this gentleman in the purple? Sir, can you shout your name for me? Thanks so much, by the way.
Andrew.
Hi Andrew. Andrew, would you write down a 6-digit number, and then when you've done that, you can go ahead and pass it to somebody else, and they're going to do the same thing, write a 6-digit number. We'll see who it ends up with. Okay, cool. So, we're starting with hook. Guys, here's the thing with social media. It's actually pretty easy. Most people just don't have the formula. I was wasting so much time spinning my wheels. I create video content, but this also works if you're writing copy on a photograph. It works if you're writing, just full-on posts. Harder with photos, but I suppose as well. So let's talk about short-form video, because they say in the next couple of years, 95% of the internet is going to be video. If you and your business aren't putting out video, you are missing out. Everything I do now is video, borderline, and it's worked really well for me. So let's say you're creating a video. What is the hook? Well, pretty simple. It's what gets someone to stop going through their social media page and looking at you. Have you ever sat and watched someone while they're going through their phone on either TikTok or Instagram? We've become like fish, and we just sit here and we just go and go and go. It's almost like we're in a trance. Your job as a social media creator, or whatever you're doing, is to make someone stop just for 1 second. And there's a lot of ways we can do that. In all of my videos you saw there, I usually use a bit of emotion, so it might be me laughing or getting straight into a magic trick. But if you were a dancer, it would be not having 5 seconds at the start, putting the camera up and getting ready, and then getting ready to go. It's getting straight to it. These days on social, you have to cut the fat over and over, and get started right away. So you can play around with hooks for yourself. If you were, say, a chef, this might be having a really colourful dish right at the very centre, right where it's visible. The key with a hook is not to make people think. You want to literally hand it to them straight away and make it really, really clear. You don't want people to think, because as I say, these days, no matter who you are, if you're on social media, you're scrolling mindlessly, you need to make things really digestible. So if you look at your video, and by the way, I should say, I plan this out before I film. I don't just sit down and think, what's going to be a good hook? You actually sit down before and think about this, because you could have the best video in the world, but if no one watches past 1 second, it doesn't matter. They're not going to see it. So hook's the first thing. The next thing is the build-up, and that's the easiest thing. That's just basically not ruining your shot. You've spent all this thought to try and get them to pay attention. Now you've got to keep them there. So the one rule I will say is these days, unless you're on YouTube maybe, and even then the rule still applies, you can't be boring and slow. You've got to keep things moving really fast. I find for me, on the likes of Instagram and TikTok and YouTube Shorts now, 30 seconds, 25 to 30, it's pushing it for how long you can make a video. Now, different long form YouTube, but if you're talking short form, you want to keep it short and snappy. I actually go through all my videos now in the build-up, which is the bulk of the video, and cut out every little silence. Any moment there's some dead time or an excuse that someone could use to scroll, I cut that out. Little tip for you guys, this saved my life in terms of figuring out why my videos weren't doing well. In your analytics on your social media, you can actually go in and see the average watch time of a video. This is such a good tip, so if you do post, honestly do this, I'll change things for you. Look at the average watch time, you can see it in all analytics. Find the average, so say the video is 30 seconds, and say the average is 13. Go to your video, find out what you did at the 13-second mark, and don't do that again. Honest to goodness, it seems like common sense. If you just do that, your videos perform twice as well. They did for me anyway. I find that for me, it was, I do videos where I have my brother laughing in all those videos, where he rates the magic trick. I find that for me, every time after he rated the magic trick, and then I repeated what he said, people stopped watching. As soon as I stopped doing that, the videos performed twice as well, so it could be something really small. That's the build-up. So now you have your reveal. This is easy for me as a magician, because I just have to reveal the magic trick. But this, it's the payoff. It's the payoff. So say you're doing your video and you're a chef, this would be the final reveal of the food. It might be if you're a dancer, it's the big trick at the end. You want to basically use the hook to get them to watch, the build-up to keep them there, and it should always be building towards this high point at the payoff. Because if someone watches your whole video and at the end they go, then they're not going to watch another, and they're certainly not going to convert into followers. So you want to give them the payoff. That sounds like common sense, but again, you'd be shocked how many videos you watch, and there's just no point to them. You get to the end and they loop, and you're like, well, what did I sit there and watch? So it's really, really simple, but if you actually follow this layout, you're going to have so much success with it, I promise you. Unless you don't do the fourth step. So I was using this formula myself, and I was seeing a bit of success. I managed to grow to about 1 million followers-ish, which I was really happy with. It was 1 million that I had before then. But I was stuck, and I realized the thing was, I wasn't incentivizing anyone to follow or to stick around. So I use call to actions. You all know what a call to action is in marketing and everything, but very few people think about doing it on social media, and it doesn't have to be fancy. If you want someone to follow you or click like, the best way to get them to do it is firstly make the video really good. The second way is just to ask them to do it, and I do it in every single post. People just don't do it. Again, people are scrolling mindlessly on their phones. You need to break that cycle and get them to do something. So if you ever watch one of my videos, God love you, you'll go through and you'll find at the end of each video, it's either me saying, hit the follow button, or, oh, Ethan, does that trick deserve a follow? Or something like that, something that's there. You will see startling results from this. It took me, I mean, I say that I grew from 5,000 to 17 million in 3 years. Really, 16 if that was in the last year, and that's when I started using call to actions, because you could get this amazing viral video, and I've seen this happen, it's happened to me too. A video with 20 million views on it, but if you don't tell someone to follow at the end, you'll get some people who just like it, who will go through and follow you, and you'll see them again, but you'll also get millions of people that don't. Whereas if you just ask them to hit the follow button, you can then market to them over and over and over again and build a fan base. So that is the structure I use. I wanted to just blast that at you and give you some actual tactical advice, because there's people here who are going to give you all sorts of amazing advice about things they understand. Social media is what I understand. Hook, build up, reveal, call to action. Does that make sense to everyone? Please do implement it, because these days there's so much scope to grow online. If you're not on TikTok or Instagram, or it works on every platform, the psychology will always remain the same. Start using it, I think you'll have a lot of success. Who has the paper, the post-it note? Hello, what's your name?
Geraldine.
Geraldine?
Yeah.
Am I saying that? Geraldine?
Yeah.
Geraldine, just before I bring you up, because I don't want to see the numbers, are there 3 6-digit numbers written on that piece of paper?
Yeah.
There are. Okay, I'm going to come down to you, and then we're going to get you involved with this. Chris, do you have a phone on you?
No, do you want me to add it up?
Yeah, I'm going to have you add up. So you can borrow a phone and calculator off someone. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just grab this right here, check the numbers with the numbers. Would you hold this up to my mouth just so I can keep speaking? Hold the microphone to my mouth. I'm going to close this. Can you get this on? I'm not reading the numbers now. I'm going to close it up like this. I'm not going to read them. Chris, this is coming to you, sir. Chris, do we have a calculator handy? No, here's the thing. I'm going to face the other direction, open that up, add up the numbers. Here's the trick. So, I'm going to stare at it. In fact, what's your name, sir? Kieran. I already knew that. Kieran, not mind where it is. No, Kieran. Kieran, we should look him in the eyes. This is only awkward if you make it awkward. I'm going to stare right at you until Chris has added up the numbers. This talk actually kind of has followed the thing. Does anyone want any money? That would be the hook. There's the contents to build up. This is my reveal now. Unless I balls up. We've done it, okay.
Yeah.
We've done it. Okay, so here, I'm going to come over without glancing yet. Have you got the number written down so you don't forget it?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the idea. I'm going to keep staring at you, Kieran. In a second, I'm going to glance at the numbers. I'm going to try add them up. You're going to count me down from 3. After 3, I'm going to look away. I'm going to get the total. Ready?
3.
Oh, hang on. So if I look there, am I going to see the numbers, Chris?
No, but if you look right here, Joe.
Bring my hand to where it is. I don't know which
there.
Okay, ready?
Go for it. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, good. Then you have the number written down, Chris, yeah?
I got it written down, bro.
Mm-hmm. Start with an 8.
Yes.
That's the easy part. Oh, sure, it was the middle number is there a... Oh, I need one more look.
What?
Stop cheating, Joel.
I botched it. It's okay. I'll do another trick before we finish. I just botched it. But it's 8, and then it's 8 something. Probably ends in like a 9, maybe?
No.
Oh, no, really? Do you remember when I said you reveal you don't want it to be disappointing? And well, thank you. Oh, I will take it. Thank you so much. No, it's alright. I'm here all night, so I can do tricks for you. You can come up and see me. But did you at least enjoy the content about social media? Thank you. Chris, just for shits and giggles, what was the number?
It was 849225.
Alright, 849. Well, look, that was pretty... I still have to do my call to action, Chris.
Right.
My call to action is for you to pull out the £10 note. Every single banknote on the planet has a serial number on it, which is unique. We're looking for the number.
Piss off, Joel.
We're looking for the number 849225. Would you read out the number? What's the number on the banknote?
849225.
Bang on, yes! Oh! Thank you! Oh no, you can keep it. Keep doing it for you. I'm going to pass by the word Derry. Guys, I'm here all night. I would love to chat to you if you have any questions about what I spoke about content. Right? And a big round of applause for Chris as well. Thanks, Chris.